Start recording. Now, the test is due, I think, it's due not Monday, but Wednesday, I think. Let's look. 28th. Is that Wednesday or Monday?
That's next Monday.
Yeah, I need to change it.
At night.
I'm going to change it to, I'll change it to Wednesday because I want you to have at least one day to ask questions before the end of the test. So let me change that while I'm at it. Unless y'all want me to leave it on Monday.
Nope. I got a paper due tonight, so I called you and I get started on it.
How do you start? When you do your argumentative test?
There it is, 28th. So let's change that to the, that's payday, isn't it? I hope I get paid on the 28th. 30th, that's payday.
At 2,500 words.
Because I'm about broke as Job's turkey. I wish I could save money. There's two types of people in a relationship. The one that saves and the one that spends. And I was unfortunately the one that likes to spend, so. And my son and my daughter both have it. They neither one can save. All right, so now does everybody see the due date on the test? It's the 30th. That gives you Monday, technically, to ask and send homework questions, and you still have 2 days to take the test. So if you want to try the test this weekend after you finish the 6.6 homework, do it one time. You got 4 other times to take it. Why do I let you have 5 times on the test? Because graphing is important. And I think sometimes y'all have a tendency to shy away from graphing, so I figure give you a couple extra times in case you really suck at it. All right, so with that being said, let's go to our handy dandy second handout. When did I send y'all all that handout? Let me just do a scan.
Monday?
Scan. There it is. I think this is it. Okay, so we left off with the second part right here. And can I zoom back on this thing? Yes. All right, so there is, and a lot of this is going to be kind of, I don't know, redundant to y'all maybe. I don't know how much you remember from 1,000 years ago or whatever, but get this handout out, and anything you need to highlight it. But the Cartesian coordinate system is based on 2 axes. You're moving up from the number line. Here is the number line, and now you're adding a second dimension to your number line, which is the y-axis. And where it crosses is the origin. Again, y'all had 3 years of this. Some of you had 2 years. Some of you had 1 year. 1 year is pre-algebra. 2 years is pre-algebra and algebra 1. 3 years is algebra 1, algebra 2, and pre-algebra. So this is something that you probably already know, because I'm going to kind of skip over this. Hopefully you know it and there's no problem with it. And I'm trying to work this thing, and I'm trying to do 2 things at one time. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. There we go. All right, now I am going to go over this because some of y'all forget this part. Connecting 2 points form a line. And a line can be written in general standard form. You can call it general form, or you can call it standard form. And this is the form. Now you need to highlight this, not highlight it, put a circle around it, because that's going to be on the test. You need to be able to see that general form. B is the y-intercept. You always write B, 0, comma, and whatever number B is, you put right there. That's your y-intercept. Your sine of your slope is going to tell you the line is going to be going left to right up or left to right what? Down. Science, math always tells us, the sign always tells us a preposition. And that preposition is direction. When you talk about negative $100 in your bank account, you always will have a preposition in there called below. Below what? Zero. If you say that if a football player runs the ball and he gets sacked behind the line of scrimmage, that's negative 5 yards behind. There's always a preposition showing what? Direction. Okay? And of course, X is the input and Y is the output. Now make sure you understand this. The input values, that's called the what? The domain. The output values is called the what? The range. Now that second part right there, you need to make sure you understand that. And we're going to do, your homework is going to reinforce these 2 pages, 6.6, these 2 handouts. So Monday, when y'all come in after doing your homework or your test all weekend on 6.6, one section of homework all weekend, or one test, whichever one you want to do. Hopefully it'll be reinforced by these 2 handouts. Next. I'm trying to work. Do I hit the plus? No, which one did I hit? I thought there was a page. Oh, I go down. There we go. I'm not used to Adobe. Now see there, why you gotta laugh? Everything I do when I mess up, you laugh at. I do something right, you don't say a word. And then you wonder why I get mad. All right. You act just like a wife. All right. Slope can also be calculated given 2 points. Now, if I was a person that liked to write in red, I would highlight this in red. So I used green. Very, very, very important. This is a test question right here. So make sure you know that formula. The change in y over the change in x. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x of 2 minus x of 1. Which way do we read where y'all are right now? Left to right. So we always scan a graph from left to right. And we always read from left to right. So that's how you label your points. Now, there's 3 types of questions you're going to see with this question. One, you're going to be given a graph and you pick your points. Meaning there's a graph paper lay behind it and you find 2 good points. The second, they tell you to use this point and this point. And they give you the points on a graph. And then the third, they don't give you a graph, they just give you 2 points. Those are the 3 type questions you might see on the test. Okay? So in this case, I don't know if I do an example. Do I do an example? Somebody got the handouts with them? Where's the handouts? Y'all should have the handouts out. Is there an example? Look on the back.
There's no examples.
Yeah, there's one. No, there's not. So I'll do one. Thank you. So here is my example. So I'm going to erase this right here. No sneezing in class. Parentheses minus parentheses over parentheses minus parentheses. All right, what goes in that first parenthesis? 6. What goes in the second parenthesis? 3. third parenthesis, 6, and fourth, 4. Now, why do you have to add the parentheses? Because there's two things y'all don't like. What are they? Fractions and negatives. And the parentheses, if you put the negatives and the fractions in the parentheses, you will not make a careless mistake unless you're just not paying attention. Because the parentheses make you aware of the fraction and the negative, so hopefully you won't make the mistake that most people do that don't put the parentheses. So what's 6 minus 3? 3. And 6 minus 4?
2.
So the slope of this line is equal to 3/2. And that's going to be m. So you would do this. That's equal to m. M is equal to the slope. Now, do you need this in other classes besides math and science? Yes. Anything having to do with economics, anything having to do with math, anything having to do with business, anything having to do with marketing, accounting, not to mention math and science. Anytime you want to find the slope of a line, that's how you do it. Question, gripe, complaint. Here is the second most important formula in 6.6. It's called the point-slope what? Equation. Or the point-slope formula. Some people call it the point-slope formula. Some people call it the point-slope equation. Just want to make sure you're awake. You look like you were in a trance. So write that formula down or highlight it. And how do you use it? Well, in order to use the point-slope equation, you have to have a what?
Point and a slope.
You have to have a point, and you have to have a slope. Now, the slope can be given to you, or you have to what? Calculate it. So what does that mean? Well, let me give you one. Let's do this one. I want you to do the slope yourself. So 2, 3, 8, and 7. I want you to find the slope of that line. Which way do we read? X of 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. What goes in the first parenthesis? What goes in the second? What goes in the third? And 2. 7 minus 3 is, and 8 minus 2. So our slope is what? 2/3. What? I can't hear you.
I was looking at the answer, almost said 2 instead of 4.
So M is equal to 2/3. All right, now which point do you think I'm going to pick? Because I need a what? I need a point and a what? Slope. So what am I going to pick? Am I going to pick 2, 3, or 8, 7? Why am I going to pick 2, 3? Huh? Because keep it simple. Could I use 8 and 7? Yes. But why use 8 and 7 when you can use a smaller number? So I'm going to pull 2 and 3 down here, and I'm going to say our point is 2, 3, and our slope is 2/3. So this is part 1, this is part 1, this is part 2. So now I'm going to plug and chug. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to M times X minus X sub 1. Now plug and chug and solve for Y. Yeah, you want me to tell you the logic of Tri-County Tech? We didn't have classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the Anderson and Easley campus. So therefore, we had orientations on Fridays because we had no classes. So then Pendleton says, well, everybody needs to have Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. So they kept having orientations on Friday at the Easley and Anderson campus. What's the problem? People are in classes. So that's the thinking at Tri-County Tech.
So is that why we're not in class Fridays?
That's why I'm not, because I'm not going to try to juggle doing advising students, and y'all both can stay afterwards and I can help y'all with advising because I'm helping him with his question. So if y'all want help with advising, I can help.
Yeah, right. She ain't even done the test, so she wouldn't.
So, but yeah, that's what I have to deal with. That's why we're not having class easily.
That was one question on my test. That was the one question that I didn't get. So I had 2 that I got wrong. One of them I know why I got wrong.
Okay. All right, so plug and chug. What goes here? What goes there? 3. What goes here?
2/3.
2/3. And what goes here?
2.
And now you solve. So y minus 3 is equal to 2/3 x minus 4/3. Now I'm going to do something on this next step, and I don't want everybody to go to the proverbial, why'd you do that? I want you to look at it and see if you can answer what I'm doing. Capiche? Y is equal to 2/3 x minus 4/3 plus 9/3. Y is equal to 2/3 x plus 5/3. And that's your answer. Now, can somebody tell me what I did on that second to the last step that might confuse somebody? I did move the 3, but what did I do? Why? And in order to combine fractions, I have to have a what? Common denominator. Remember unit 1 or unit 2? Which one was it? Unit 1. No. I think it was unit 2. I can't remember. Anyway, the first part of unit 1, we're getting common denominators. There is your answer.
Okay, so I didn't hear them very well, Hubert. What happened with the 9/3?
No!
I know
These
it's the
people are
common
loud.
denominator.
I'm not answering.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry for blowing you out. Okay, I admit I blew you out even though I didn't think you blew it out. Now, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Still my answer.
Okay,
Hey,
fine.
look, you better take that. Men don't apologize very often.
Exactly. All right, now, what you asked, this is what you asked. I have to bring this 3 over. So I got to get y by itself. So it's going to be a plus 3 over 1. Remember me telling y'all whenever you add fractions, make everything a fraction? Well, what do I have to have in order to add fractions?
The
Common
denom.
denominator.
Oh,
So I've got to change 3 over 1. 1 will go into 3 times. 3 times 3 is what? 9. Now, should you be doing that in your head by now? Yes. Have somewhat. Yes. Okay. And there's your answer. Now, I will tell you this. If I was to ask you 10 questions on this test, which it should be about 10 questions, 4 or 5 of them will be this question right here. The rest of them will be graphing, which is your first handout. So let's do a narrative. Here we go.
This stuff hurts my brain, Hubert.
I know. You could quit.
I could, but it's not enough.
-3, -2, and 4, -4. You're supposed to take apologies. You're supposed to accept apologies. That's what's very, it's supposed to be nice.
I accept your apology, but I thought you were answering questions today.
All right, I'm going to let y'all do this one. I had to bury my mama's cat yesterday. I don't like having to bury animals. Oh, okay. So don't ask me a question.
I can't remember.
Can't remember what?
On the 4 minus -3, wouldn't it be 1?
Yeah, those negatives are screwing me up too.
Exactly.
Because I thought only multiplications when it
Remember-
makes it a positive.
Now, remember when I told y'all back in Unit 1? I said there's 3 rules to remember. O is negative. Half is positive. And if you ever have 2 negatives together, that makes a what?
Positive.
And I drew it like that.
Should be 8.
You must have not have listened that day.
7. I'll never listen, to be honest.
There, see? There we go. You know, the first part of, recovering is admitting you have a problem. All right. So, I'm going to do this first part for y'all. X sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Slope is equal to parenthesis minus parenthesis over parenthesis minus parenthesis. What goes in the first one? -4. What goes in the second one?
-2.
What goes in this one? 4. What goes in this one?
-3.
Now I take my handy dandy red pen and I do this and I do this. What happens when you owe somebody $4 and you have 2? You owe 2, Hubert. That's right, class. What if you have $4 and you have $3? So your answer is -2/7. See how the parentheses helps? And the rules that I gave you back in Unit 1 help? So here we go. M is equal to -2/7. And which point am I going to use? -3 and -2, they both suck. So lesser of two what? Evils. -3 and -2. X of 1, y sub 1. Y minus parentheses is equal to parentheses x minus parentheses. And this goes -2. This is -2/7. And this is -what? 3. Now take my handy dandy red pen out. Y plus 2 is equal to -2/7 x plus 3. Now I distribute and I get y plus 2 is equal to -2/7 x minus 6/7. Now I bring this across the river and it becomes -14/7. Y is equal to -2/7 x minus 20/7. Now, the way I did it right here on my screen, what's difficult about it?
The whole thing.
No, that's the wrong answer. There's no difficulty if you follow what? The directions. But what happens is, and I'm just saying students in general, they don't follow directions. And that's why they have problems. That's your scores.
So, I know you're taking the 2 across to get it away from the y, but what are you multiplying it to get the answers?
Well, what is 2 over what? 2 over 1.
1.
So 2 over 1 I'm bringing over, but I got to have a common what?
Denominator.
How many times will 1 go into 7?
1.
7 times, Hubert. 7 times 2 is 14.
Okay.
Ready for another one? I'm giving you 3 different examples because I'm going to give you at least 3 questions on the test. So here we go. So you might as well quit on this one. 1/2, 3, -1/3, and -2. Hopefully this will discourage you. Now, of course, the top, I've got a common denominator. So what's negative 2? Wait a minute, we gotta change gotta follow our directions. So what is negative 2 plus 3? One. What do we gotta have on the bottom though? We gotta have a common what?
Denominator.
Common denominator. So I'm going to change this to a 6 and this to a 6. How many times will 3 go into 6? 2 times 1 is 2. How many times will 3 go into 6? I'm sorry, 2 go into 6. 3 times 1 is 3. What is, you owe $2 and you owe $3. The outcome is you owe what? $5. What do you do when you divide a number by a fraction? You multiply by the what? Reciprocal.
Reciprocal.
So your answer is negative 6/5.
First one, is that a negative 3 over 1?
Yeah.
Okay, I messed up. Here, put a negative right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
That earlier on some-
Put a negative. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Just make it a negative. I accidentally made the 3 over 1 a negative, so just put a negative in front of the 3. That was my mistake. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you both for bringing that up. I have to start thanking y'all. Question, great. Complaint. Now let's do the second part. Y minus parentheses equals parentheses times x minus parentheses. Now which point am I going to pick? I wouldn't pick two negatives. I'd pick a positive and a negative before I'd pick two negatives. So x of 1 goes right here. Y sub 1 goes right there. And then negative 6/5 goes right there. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to go right here and put equals negative 6/5. So that way you'll know that's the slope. Okay? And that's negative 6/5. There we go. All right. So take my handy dandy red pen. That's going to turn that into a what? A positive. So we get y plus 3 is equal to negative 6/5 x plus what? 6/10. Now you can reduce that. I'm just right now. What's negative 6 times negative 1? Positive 6, Hubert. What's 5 times 2? 10. So that's how you get that, for those of you that are questioning where the 6/10 came from. Now I'm going to change that in the next step. Y plus 3 is equal to negative 6/5 x plus what? Somebody reduce that for me.
1 1/5.
No.
Oh, what? The 6/10?
Yeah, change it to
Or 3/4?
3/5.
Sorry. Not good with math today. My bad, Hubert.
That's all right. Everybody's mad. Everybody hates me, so. Y equals negative 6/5 x plus 3/5 minus 3 over 1 y is equal to negative 6/5 x plus 3/5. I'm going to show y'all how to do this longhand. Need a 5 here. 1 will go into 5 how many times? 5 times 3 is? And your final answer is y equal negative 6/5 x. You have $3. You owe 15. You have $3 in your pocket. You owe 15. You still owe what? 12.
I forgot to
fifths.
stand.
That's all right.
Let me go to bed.
So your answer is negative 6/5 minus 6/5 x minus 12/5. Now that is 3 problems that you should be able to do. Now let me go back to the rest of, and we're almost done. Right here, I need to show you this. If I could get the thing to work. There. All right. This is what you need to know. When x is equal to a number, x is equal to 6, x is equal to 5, x is equal to negative 3, x is equal to 1/2. All those, there's no y's, there's just x is equal to a number. Then it's automatically parallel to what axis? The y-axis. So let me do 2 of these. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's automatically parallel to what? The y-axis. Negative 3. 1, 2, 3. It's automatically parallel to what? The y-axis. Now that's pretty simple. You might see one of those on the test and it'll say graph y is equal to 4. I'm sorry, x equal to 4. X equal to 4 would be right here. Now, if x equal to a number is parallel to the y-axis, then what is y equal to a number? It's parallel to the what? The x-axis. So if I tell you, give you a couple more examples here, y is equal to 2, y is equal to 4, y is equal to negative 5. So y is equal to 2, 1, 2, parallel. Y is equal to 4, 3, 4 is parallel. Y is equal to negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, those are 2 questions that everybody should get right on the test. Okay, what next? Well, the only other thing that's left is another rule that you might not even see, because I don't know if it's on there or not. I don't think it is. And I'll show you nonetheless. If I could get, I'm not used to working with PDF files on the screen. Okay. If 2 lines have equal slopes, so if I give you on the test, if I say y is equal to 3x and y is equal to 3x plus 7, are the slopes equal?
No.
Yes. That means that those 2 lines are what? Parallel. Write it out. I don't know why I didn't write it out. 2 lines together looks like an 11, a slanted 11. That is parallel. Now what if I give you the opposite reciprocal? Example. Y let me do this in white. Y is equal to negative 1/5 x minus 2. And y is equal to 5x plus 7. What are these two to each other?
Reciprocals.
They're reciprocals, but they also have the opposite what? This is a negative, and this is a what?
Positive.
If they are reciprocals of each other, and they have opposite signs, they are what we call, what's the opposite of what's the opposite of parallel?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. It means they form a 90-degree angle. And that's it. Now, let me ask y'all. Now, you ain't getting up. Didn't you have a question on the test? Oh, that was y'all too. I thought y'all had a question about advising or something. Y'all already trying to get out of here. All right. Now, let me ask you three. Well, one of you left. Where'd the student go on the left?
I think she went to the bathroom.
Oh. Okay, well, let me ask you, Easley. How much of this is review and how much have you never seen before?
Almost all of it's review for me.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. Miss Woodward, 1,000 years. Do you remember seeing all of this or never seen it?
Honestly, it's been a long time since I did this stuff, but the only thing I don't recognize is the reciprocal slopes.
Okay. Well, I don't even know if that's on the test, but all you have to do is look at the two slopes, and if they're reciprocals of each other and the opposite signs and they're perpendicular, it's either going to be one or the other. It's not going to be nothing else. If I asked you a question, it's going to be either parallel or perpendicular. And I don't even know if they're on there. We'll have to look right quick and see. Let me go over there and look. Let me look before some of y'all explode. What time's class over? 12:10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me look right quick. I'm going to just go to the assignment because there shouldn't be that many questions on it. It should only be like 10 questions and 10 bonus questions. Preview. Okay, there's 27 questions and 16 are bonus. So that means you got 11 questions. Graph. Just write these. You don't have to write the problem down. Graph using the intercepts. That's one. Graph. Now, let me say this, and I only got like 6 minutes or 5 minutes. What does this one give you a method? Look at this. It just says what?
Graph.
Graph means use any method. It does not say use intercepts. It doesn't say use points. It doesn't say use the slope and the y-intercept. It just says use any method. When it says just graph. So that I would use method 1 or method what? 3. Because you have a fraction and y is what? By itself. When it says just graph, you miss that. When it says just graph and it doesn't give you any, then you can use any method. Next, I'm just going through and making sure you see what's on the test. Okay, there's only 10 questions, I think. Okay, which method does this one say use? 1, 2, or 3? Well, it's 1, 2, or 3. It's method 3, slope intercept. What is this one? Method 1, 2, or 3? 2. You may have an old date on here. Yeah, because I couldn't change it. It wouldn't let me change any of the questions. I don't know why. So just do April 24th through the 30th, okay? And this one is April 23rd. I couldn't change it. I don't know why it wouldn't let me change it. And I didn't want to fool with it. Find the what?
Slope.
We just did that one. We just did one like that and 3 with the point slope equation. I'm trying to, okay. Graph, which method?
2.
2, method 2. Graph by which method? 1, 2, or 3? Method 1, plotting points. Which method? 2. I'm looking to see, I don't see, okay, which method? 1, 2, or 3? 3. 2. 2. And 2. Now, you may get one that instead of giving you 5 method 2s, it may give you 5 method 1s. Or it may give you 5 method 3s. So, but did you see anything with a vertical line or horizontal line or perpendicular parallel? I didn't see any questions, so I don't think I got any on there. Okay? Comprende? All right, so you have tomorrow, Friday, you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get the 6.6 homework done and work on the test, or just work on the homework and send in questions Monday. Any questions? Y'all have a good weekend, and I will see y'all Monday.